Hello, this is Mr. Lowry. Today's objective is 3.10c. We will analyze a nonfiction text by explaining how the author's use of text and graphic features achieves specific purposes. Again, some graphic features would be pictures and captions. Maps, also this map has a caption, but also the maps have keys to help you understand what the maps are showing. This is my anchor chart that I did for text or graphic features. Remember, the text features are like headings and bold words or words in bold print. Sometimes you might see timelines or other types of graphs. I wanted to go over some of the answers that I saw from the day's previous work, where some kids weren't answering the questions very well. Looking at number 3. Again, the objective is finding out why the author uses text and graphic features to achieve specific purposes. So they need to be specific when they're answering these questions. Like here it says, explain why the people of Coober Pedy built underground homes. And the student answered, they dig underground rooms to make their homes. But it doesn't say why. If they go back to that page, the answer was actually in the caption in the picture, where it says they build their homes underground to escape the sun's heat. It should have been the answer. They're building their homes underground because it's cooler. Also, using the information from the text, they could have inferred that answer. Another one that I saw where the student said the city. What does the photograph on page 143 show? They said the city. That's not a complete sentence. And we're not being specific if we're just saying it was any city. There's a specific reason why the author is showing a picture of this city. And the answer is actually in the caption once again. It says, some modern cities, such as Las Vegas, are in the middle of the desert. This is a modern city built in the middle of the desert. That should have been the answer. I should have also said that it was Las Vegas. So, remember to be very specific in your answers when explaining why certain text features are being used. Chapter 3 says, the first questions I have on this page, you can pause it. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but this is what I'm going over in the class. What is the title of Chapter 3? Just remember that the titles are in bold print, as are the vocabulary words on each page. And then explain how the sand people on the Kalahari Desert get the water that they need. That information is here at the bottom of this paragraph. It's actually the last 2 sentences, but again, this is the work that the kids will be doing in class. On this page, it says, explain why the author included the photograph on page 145. Again, remember, in this one, it may not help you with the caption. You need to read here and get the main idea. Mainly we're talking about oases and why people in the desert live close to oases or an oasis. So obviously, since the author is giving information about an oasis, they include a picture of an oasis. So the reader, the student, can know what one looks like. On this page, it says, explain why the author included the photograph on page 146. Again, the paragraph says, very few plants grow in deserts. Often deserts go on for hundreds of miles of land with no shade. Strong winds blow through the barren landscape. A dust storm can strike at any moment without warning. Desert people wear layers of loose-fitting clothes to protect themselves from the sun and blowing dust. And now we have the picture. So obviously the picture is included so that you can see what these loose-fitting layers of clothes look like that the people wear in order to protect themselves not only from the sun but also from the high winds and the sand that's brought along with them in the wind. And the caption does help you understand that too. As it says, these Turk people live in the Sahara Desert. They cover their faces with long flowing cloaks. Their clothes keep sand out of their eyes, hair, mouths, and skin. Again, explain why the author included the photograph on page 146. It's in order to let the reader see what the clothing of the people here in the Sahara Desert looks like. And again, this question says, use the information from paragraph 11 to infer why it is so windy in the desert. And that is really coming from the first part here. Very few plants grow in the deserts. Often deserts go on for hundreds of miles of land and no shade. So it doesn't explicitly tell you why the desert is windy, but it does tell you that there's no plants. Also, the deserts go on for miles with no of land with no shade. So without trees, without plants, without buildings, there's nothing to stop the wind. So the wind just goes on and picks up speed. On this page it says, explain why the Tuareg people in the Sahara Desert raise goats. Don't forget to look at the text or also the captions to answer that question. And it actually gives you 3 reasons. There's 3 reasons that you can find, again, in the caption. For hundreds of years, many people have used camels to travel through the desert. Camels are built to survive desert weather and climate. Their thick, woolly hair protects them from the hot sun. Their wide feet stop them from sinking in the sand. They drink 25 gallons or 95 liters of water in minutes, and they do not need to drink again for days. And it says, list 4 reasons why camels have been used to travel through the desert for hundreds of years. Here's a 4th one in the caption. This one says, explain why the author included the picture on page 149. This, of course, is page 149. It says here, fewer than 100 years ago, many people could not cross a desert without a camel. Today, camels are less important than they once were. People now drive cars and trucks through deserts. Deserts are easier to cross today, but you would not want to get stranded. You may not get help for a long time. And then again, the question is, or the student's being asked to explain why the author included the picture. The picture is showing what the text is talking about, which down here at the end, how people are using cars more than camels. But then it also says strong winds blow sand through deserts. Blowing sand makes it hard for drivers to see the road. So the answer would be, the author includes the picture to show how strong winds blow sand through deserts, making it hard for drivers to see the road. These are the questions that the students are actually going to answer on the Google form. Number 1, name 3 ways mentioned in the text on page 150 as to how people are causing desertification in Africa. And there's at least 3. Probably 4 ways that they're doing it right here. Number 2, use the glossary to define the word in bold print on page 151. Find the word in bold print and then use the glossary that's in the text. On this page, explain why the author included the map on page 151. This I went over in yesterday's video, but why? You have to read the text and understand what they're explaining in the text to understand why the map's included. But basically the map is included to help the reader understand the text. But also, more specifically, to see what in the map. What are we supposed to be looking at? Number 4, describe what the photograph on page 152 is showing. Again, use the text, please, and also use the caption when answering this. Why is the author specifically showing this picture? Number 5, define the word in bold this should be bold print, on page 153 using the glossary again. Where's the word in bold print? Use the glossary to define it. And 6, using the information from the text, explain why scientists build plastic covers over healthy crops. And that information is in the paragraph here. Again, the form is here in Google Classroom. Do not forget to answer the questions with complete sentences. I will not give credit to students when they're not answering the questions with complete sentences. That's really necessary. I can't have them just typing in 1 or 2 word answers. It's not enough information to explain why the text features or graphic features are being used. Plus, the students need to practice answering in complete sentences. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time. Okay, goodbye.